Okay. Hey, Ray. Yeah, right. Okay. You're giving me all that. You still showed up. Okay. Um, Whoever's got kids in the next room or in the room with you, can you please tell them to go to another room? I can still hear them. I don't want to have to mute everybody to figure out who it is. Okay. For most of you, this is probably the first time you've used this software. I assume you went in and linked in, and I was hoping that you would have chosen audio and video portion, chat portion of the meeting, so we can see who you all are and go from there. It's not him. Okay. All right, Dave, at the end of the meeting, you need to stick around, okay? I need to talk to you about a few things after the meeting, Dave, okay? Dave Peterson?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stick around afterwards. I got a couple things I want to talk to you about.
There you are. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'll stop recording. Okay. We're all set. Okay. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Greg Zach. I'm older than dirt. I've been doing this for over 45 years. 45 years of coaching and another 45 of administrating as well. And I got saddled with the unlikely task of trying to get our arms around a lot of issues we have with the refereeing and everything with the club and what goes on at the games. Last year was a rather difficult year in the fact that we had 3 police reports filed. We had numerous fights break out, carried out into the parking lots and whatnot. So, needless to say, that we're not setting a good example for the youth in our clubs or the clubs that we're representing. And would be nice to get our arms around what it is we're actually trying to do and try to make things just a little bit better. What I want to start with is, first off, everybody should know already. And Merrick, whenever I misquote something or just jump right in. Everybody should already know that you can take, the referees now can take recertification and their new test for new referees online. Okay, so those of you that are actually clubs, whatever club you represent, or if you're a referee at that club, please let your signer know that if we're looking for more referees. Obviously, our retention rate is not good. We would like to see more youth involved in the game, so they don't have to do a 36-hour whatever, and it's got to be a 95% or pass fail, whatever the case may be. I think it's a little more user friendly, and they can do it from home. All right. The only thing that there's a new I don't know. Ken Miller isn't new, is he, Merrick? He's been around, right?
No.
He's been around. So Ken Miller is now the ARA, not the DRA or the PDQ or whatever.
Greg, yes. I can let everybody know we basically have no DRAs anymore.
Right.
We have the area referee administrator, who is Ken Miller, and then he has a couple of assistants, and one of them's John Harris down south, and Alman over in Lakeland area. So that's pretty much it. But it's all, the new website is fl-src.org. If you guys haven't seen in the emails, you should start getting emails about that. Go online and register. I've already re-registered. It's 11 There's 11 areas they cover. It does take a little bit of time, which is good. It doesn't give you any feedback on your test, and that's one thing I'm going to try to propose to the Florida State referees about seeing if it'll give you some feedback. The questions you missed, it doesn't tell you. It just tells you your grade and if you passed. So,
Okay.
So anyway, okay.
Cool. And while we're on that topic, if we were told that a lot of referees that did not get their patch for 2017, you need to get to Ken Miller about that. His email address is kjmre@tampabay.rr.com. So if you'll send him an email, preferably every referee that didn't get a patch, but for the club, the entire group at that club didn't get it, please send him an email and let him know that y'all need your new badges for the year. Okay. Yes.
Is it possible to send that name and link or email address so that we can send it to him?
What I can do.
Hey, Greg, type it in the chat.
I'm doing it right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. KJ.
When you guys look on the bottom in your chat, it will give you all that.
Okay.
Okay. KJMRE@tampabay.rr.com. Having issues in getting a few refs linked. Yeah. Somebody else was telling me they had issues logging on. It wasn't, I believe it was for new referees. The recertification portion was working at that site, at the new site. So I sent it. Everybody, okay, everybody got that.
Yep.
Okay. If you'll take a look, yeah, if you take a look, there should be something orange flashing. That means you got a chat coming in or a message coming in. Click on it, and you'll have Ken Miller's email address that I put in there. Okay. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Oh, the other thing too, if you guys would please talk to the referees about merging their background checks. When you go into Got Soccer and you click on that link that takes you to get your background checks done, there's two columns. In the top right-hand column, you're going to see where you can link your two, in case you wear a couple hats. Okay, so if I've got an assigner or a referee that's also a coach or whatever, if you've got two IDs and Got Soccer, you can link them together and not have to pay for two background checks. Okay, your registrar should know how to do that. So if there's any issues there, please get with your club registrar. They will show you how to merge that. So it's going to save everybody. They'll save them pain and headaches. Not to mention whatever. I don't even know what it is. 15, 20 bucks now, something like that.
For what?
Background checks.
40 bucks.
40 bucks for background.
40 bucks for background.
Okay. Well, there you go. You don't want to be out 80 bucks. 40's enough as it is. Okay. Let's see. Let's get to some of the issues we're talking about here. First of all, as I had stated before, we had quite a few games get out of hand last year. And in meeting with the assigners, they suggested that every game should have a field marshal. Okay, that's already in our bylaws. Each club is to provide a field marshal, one for every two fields. that are going on simultaneously. Okay. Now, obviously, the number of field marshals, we don't want the field marshal to be the guy that's running the concession stand a half a mile away from the field. Okay. We need somebody that's out there on the sideline in between the fields that can keep peace. All right. Our younger referees that are going out there are being, what's the word I'm looking for? They're being berated by parents, by coaches, harassed, mainly by parents. Okay, the coaches think the coaches are after a while, but most of that harassment is coming from the parents.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Some of the other issues that you want to pass on to the referees. Parents berating players. That's caused a lot of issues with the 35% increase in yellow cards and red cards this past year. Okay, the players are getting wound up by the parents. They go out there. Next thing you know, they're hacking away like crazy, and either a fight is soon to ensue or not. But and that depends on how well the referee keeps the peace, obviously. So please let the referees know that if at all possible, that's what the field marshal's for. Okay, he's to keep the peace on the sidelines. And believe it or not, this year we will, so you can believe it. When you go and so you don't think I'm kidding you. If you go to FYSA, pull down their bylaws. Okay, the first 3 pages of the bylaws is code of conduct for coaches, players, and parents and spectators. The coach is responsible. He is the only person. He is responsible for the behavior of himself, his coaches, his players, and his parents. Okay? We will not, this year, we will not go and try to figure out who said what to who to get to provocate this this guy to punch somebody. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't just go out there and blindly whack somebody just for the hell of it. If I'm provoked to the point, I wouldn't, but some people would, and it's happened. So I have yet to see somebody throw a punch or get crazy without provocation. Okay, so just like and no offense to everybody that's here, you intended, Merritt. The referee always sees the second action. They never see the first action. Okay, some do. Some are good enough to see both. Okay, but if I'm running down the line, I got a handful of shorts. Okay, as the guy's going by me and I spin them, and the referee may have not have seen that. Okay, and that's entirely possible. But he's certainly going to see the retaliation the kid takes on me, for doing that. If he goes and shoves me or verbally assaults me or whatever. Okay, so it's going to be where both parties are at fault, which ultimately means both coaches are at fault. All right, we will be telling the coaches in the coaches meeting, you better have an assistant coach. If you've got a hothead, you better have an assistant coach. Because if you get tossed and you don't have somebody there, game's forfeited. You lose. Enough said.
Can you bring the parent?
No, absolutely not. Not unless that parent is a registered coach and they're in GOT Soccer. They've been adjudicated as such, and their background check's been done.
Guys, you got liability issues.
Big time. Now it could be a club official. If that club official's been duly noted, if it was just a one-off thing where the coach went ballistic, you can let a club official take it over. But I would say no. I wouldn't even let a club official take it over, to be honest with you.
So what happens if the coach doesn't take responsibility?
Okay. Go to page 3 of the FYSA bylaws. Depending on the severity of the issue, they could get 3 games, 6 month, or a 10-year ban.
for the coach.
Yes.
Okay.
You think that's harsh?
No, not at all.
Thank you. I don't think it is either. A lot of people do, but it doesn't go 3, 6, and 10 year. There's varying degrees in between. It's left up to it's left up to the board to decide anywhere in between 6 months and whatever, or 3 games and whatever. Last year we did suspend a coach for 2 years. Okay.
Let me address Demetrius's probably real question.
Yeah.
I think his real question is, what if the coach doesn't take responsibility on game day there at that game? Is that correct?
I mean, if you do have, as you pointed out, Greg, if you do have unruly parents,
Right.
and you as a referee ask the coach to take control of his parents, and the coach says, "That's not my problem."
Then you tell the coach that it is his problem, and you show him the parking lot along with the parent.
Well, the proper way, Demetrius, and to all of y'all, it would be to advise the coach, yes, per FYSA bylaws, it is your responsibility. And I'd get both coaches together. If you guys don't take care of your coaches right now, we will terminate this game. And you pick up your bag with all the passes, you head to the parking lot and get in your car. And I would terminate the game. And then you mail the passes in, or you call this is for USA League, because we're going to support you. And then you call us up and we'll let you know, and we'll mail the passes back. They're going to be really ticked because you got all their player passes.
And
Okay.
seriously, do you think there will be any more altercations if this happens once? Word's going to get around real quick, and we mean business, and I don't think we're going to have any issues after the first one.
Well, I know it did happen last year, not to me, to another referee, but I didn't hear anything about it through the league. So I'm just trying to make you aware that it did happen.
Oh, we know it happens.
We know it happened. It's in the monthly minutes, Dimitri.
Okay.
It's in the monthly minutes.
Demetrius, we don't know what to let you guys know. We had one club that had multiple issues from different teams. We didn't care. We said the club had no control, and we brought in the club president and told them we were going to kick them out of the league and suspend their schedule if they didn't get their act together. Okay, so that's not something we put out, but that is something we do as a league. We're not going to tolerate this.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, and again, starting with the field marshal, what I was referring to is referees that are, let's say, they're very impressionable. Let's say they're 15, 16 doing a 11 or 12-year-old game, and we know how grandparents, aunts, and uncles think 11 and 12-year-old games are World Cup matches, and they go get crazy in those games, okay, and whatever. If that referee has asked for a field marshal to be there, and he, there's stuff going on before the game or whatever, and he does not feel comfortable, he feels threatened, either verbally or he feels that there could be something going on there. If there is no field marshal, that game is forfeited. You are to forfeit the game.
And the referees get paid?
Yes.
Quick clarification here.
Yes.
Yeah, you're supposed to get paid before the game.
Okay.
Right.
I have a quick question. Are we talking about all FYSA games or just USA specifically right
USA.
now? Okay, thank you.
We're talking about USA, everybody.
Okay, I just wanted to double
Other
check.
leagues do. We're not. I know you work for a lot of other leagues, but I don't know that a lot of leagues do what we're doing. So we're going to take care of you.
Yeah, you obviously the first thing you do is you collect the passes, you collect your pay, you collect your passes, and if you hear or feel, like I said, there are a couple of our assigners want to start getting younger referees involved in more high-level games and whatnot, so they can get experience. but they feel that, we don't want to send the referees to send those kids to the wolves out there. And field marshal is supposed to keep the peace and be that person where, if something should erupt or escalate, that's the person that the center should be looking for immediately, is the field marshal.
Okay. I have a question. Is a field marshal not supposed to be a parent of a team? Because obviously, if the field marshal doesn't like the referee, that doesn't help. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
It's kind of like,
There's a catch-22. Ideally, the field marshal should be a club representative. Okay, somebody that is officially on the books, whether it could be the registrar, it could be the equipment manager, it could be again the concession stand manager, providing he's not at the concession stand and he's not on the field. So we would prefer to have a club official. Yes, parents have been used as field marshals. In the event that, and no matter whether it's a club official or a parent, the club needs to be able to give them a vest. Most of them get lime green or optic yellow vest, like they do on the roadside for FDOT, so that they are easily recognizable. The referee just has to scan real quick on the pitch, and he knows where the field marshal is and can get to him immediately. So yes, it probably in most cases will be a parent. If, however, that field marshal is, exciting the crowd to the point where they're, because there should be nothing coming from the field marshal. And if it's directed at you, it's even worse. Again, that's cause where you can, it's your judgment to call the game. Okay.
What about if there is abuse, verbal abuse towards a player by their own coach? And that's something that
it's a conflict of interest.
Well,
yeah, no, I took the course at the Team USA for DA, and they were saying about the verbal abuse from coaches towards their own players. So I just want to know what is the procedure for the league.
You just took the test, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll answer a question with a question.
Mm-hmm.
If a player from Team A, okay, let's say it's the midfielder, sits there and starts swearing at his left back because he was lax or something, and then punches him and pushes him to the ground. Okay, what kind of action's taken?
That's a good one.
Merritt can answer that one.
Yeah.
And
that's violent conduct against his own teammate.
But it's still violent conduct.
So
it's still a red card.
Yeah, it is.
Now, as far as verbal towards their own players, coaches, there's not really a whole lot you can do.
Okay.
Have you heard the term irresponsible behavior?
Mm-hmm.
Well, use that terminology with them. I would say, coach, your behavior is becoming irresponsible. You need to watch what you're saying, and then
Exactly.
And if it persists,
that's not. We're there to enforce the laws of the game and run the game.
right?
Why parents choose to put their kid on that coach's team, I don't know.
Got it.
That's their issue. So think about that.
Okay.
But if you hear the abusive language coming from the sideline, again, you're well within your right to send that coach off. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What? Okay.
What's that?
Oh. I have a question. USA has tournaments as well.
No.
I didn't understand the question.
Yeah, is USA do they run tournaments as well?
No,
No.
No, they don't. Okay.
no, we do not. Now, that being said, we will have this year a showcase event for 16 and 17-year-olds, college coaches to come and watch. So we will have, that's not a tournament, but it's a format of such. And we may, in the future, depending on what happens at the AGM in 2 weeks or next week, AGM's next weekend. Whoa. We may, we're sitting down with Greater Orlando, North Florida, and Brevard. Those leagues for a lot of reasons, a lot of synergies, a lot of issues we all have, and how we can best help each other to get through them. The other thing is that we may be looking at having a Champions League format with those leagues. Okay, so obviously, the reports we get back, the last thing we want to do is if we're hosting a round of that type of tournament, if you will, we want to put our best foot forward with referees. So we don't really want to, we want to make sure we have everything together and we can get the proper feedback from everybody. Okay. Whoever the gal is, we can hear you talking to your kids. If we could just whatever. Okay. We got the Ken Miller stuff taken care of. We got the stuff about the courses, the referee courses. We are still going, and we're still going to need to fax the game reports in, okay? Mainly because the number of games that we're missing scores on because referees are not turning in their stuff into Got Soccer is starting to escalate again. We got it down to about 7 or 8% the year before. Last year it went up over 10. And when we schedule 3,500 games, do the math. That's a lot of games we don't have scores for. Okay. What I end up doing most of my time is chasing down scores. I chase down referees to find out what the score was for the game. I'll hear that there was an altercation in the game, and when I look at the report in Got Soccer, I see nothing. I see no cards, I see no nothing, and the parents were telling me the players were pushing and shoving and everybody was swearing at each other, and I see nothing on the game report. So you have to impress upon the referees how important that is to
Right.
get those cards in.
It's part of the reason. Do all the referees know how to submit a report on Got Soccer for USA? Do they all know, or
there is what's I can't think of the termination. Got Soccer needs it's not certification. What is it, Merrick?
Well, with USA, we use Got Soccer to make your assignment, and when you get your assignment, that's your game. So you print your game cards off that assignment in Got Soccer, and then after the game, you got to go back in and fill out yellow cards, red cards, and you don't have to write everything in the yellow card and red card area. You write it down in the incident report further down. So you should be logged on if you're getting assignments from your assigner for USA. You should be able to go back in, open that game up, and fill out the referee only, not assistant referees. Referee only should be able to complete the game report. Put the scores in, field conditions. There's different check marks. How are the fans? Blah blah blah. And also, don't give a coach a red card. He is dismissed. Coaches do not get red cards. So you don't write the coach up in the red card section. You have to write him up in the
write him up in the extra.
the other comments.
USA, is it all over the United States or is it just in Florida?
United Soccer Association runs from just below Ocala to Fort Myers, from the water to Winter Haven.
Actually, the name of our association is United Soccer Association. We shorten it to USA.
Right. We're Region C.
We're basically the west coast of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
all right.
What?
So if you Google United Soccer Association, our USA.org should come up webpage, and you can click on that, and it'll give you all the information.
If everybody will take a look,
who assigns USA?
Here, hold on a second. If everybody will take a look, that's our website that I just put in the chat. Okay, USA-soccer.org. We have regional assigners in USA that have responsibility for a certain amount of clubs in each what used to be districts before, C1 through C6. Okay, we don't have the districts anymore. It's north and south, but it's still broken out by the old way of doing things. So everybody, we try to handle that. We may be doing things different next year, but if we do, it has to be voted on at the USA AGM, which is in May. So if there's any questions, concerns, or anybody wants to see something different, by all means, put something up there, send it to us, and we'll be more than happy to discuss it.
Right.
So I don't forget. And the reason we're very concerned about referees filling in everything, and especially when yellow cards and red cards are given, they need to tick the box on the line if there's a yellow or a red given. This year, players that accumulate 4 yellow cards must sit out the next game, must sit out the next scheduled game. Every place else in the world, it's 3. We give them an extra card. So it's 4 here. If we find out that doesn't lower the card rate, we go to 3. Maybe when they start sitting out 2 games a season, when they only have 10 games, maybe it'll mean something to them.
Right.
So,
but when you say 4 yellow cards that sit out a game, it has to be 4 straight yellow cards. So if there's a red card in between, does it restart? Or does it reset?
It does not reset. It does not reset. And just so you know, 2 yellows making a red, those 2 yellows do not count either, because they've already got their red. Okay? So we're not going to make them sit out 2 games in a row. They'll sit out their 1 game, or whatever the severity of that second yellow was, to give them that red. It could be 1, it could be 2 games.
Hey, Greg?
Yes, sir.
So, all right, guys, from your perspective as a referee, we want you to understand today that yellow cards count. Yellow cards count. Write them up. There is sanctions against people. The administration, and that's what we take Greg for, he will determine, what is applied and what's not applied. It's not something for you to worry about. The coaches may ask you, hey, does this count? Whatever. And you tell them, well, you need to call USA, send them an email. They all got our emails, and we will answer their questions. We don't want you to have to worry about all that. What we do want you to do is make sure you report these yellow cards, because it's very critical. I pushed for this. We used to do this. They do it in all the big tournaments in the world. They do it in World Cup. If these guys can't behave on the field, they can't play. And I was upset we made it 4 games, and I'm going to try to get it to 3 games next year.
I'm with you. You get my vote. But what's in order for us to manage this from a league perspective with, we got over 5,000 players. Okay, the referees have to understand, and I don't care if it's 9s, 10s, 18s. I don't care. You must put that tick on there on the card because it's automatically triggers in Got Soccer our misconduct report. So if Joe Blow gets a yellow in this game, okay, I'll go into my misconduct report that Got Soccer has for us, and I'll know that there's the yellow card. It shows up. Okay, if he gets one in the next game, it'll have 2 now, and now he's up to 2. And I'll know once he gets 4.
Okay.
Bingo.
Okay. If a player play his last USA game and it's in his or 4th yellow card, he sets out the next season, basically.
Yeah.
He or she.
Yes, he will. Makes no sense.
Okay.
Makes no sense for us not to give cards out if they're not going to carry over for league games.
Okay. How about if they're playing tournaments? No.
And we don't care about tournaments.
Okay.
We don't care about tournaments. It's all just for our league. So if they're in Region Cup, State Cup, whatever the heck it is, Commissioners, whatever cups there are now, it's for league only.
When you say sit out next game, is that going to show up on their roster, or is it off coach's honor?
No, good question. Very good question. It will show up, okay? Because again, it'll show up providing the referee reports the game within 48 hours and reports it the right way. Now, I will tell you this. If you're the coach and you know your player just got his 4th yellow, if I were you, I would sit him out. Because if you don't, and we go back and find out that the referee didn't turn the game card in, and he did get his 4th yellow, and you played him anyhow, okay, there's going to be repercussions. Okay?
For you, the coach or the referee?
One game. Okay? So, in that case, who's got the horn? Okay. It would behoove you, if you're the coach, okay, to do this because the severity of the disciplinary action could be more than 1 game if you so choose to play that player thinking that we'll never catch him. We catch him 2 weeks down the road, and you knowingly, and there's no way, ignorance is not bliss. It's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. You know that he got a 4th card. You should be keeping track. Please get that to your younger referees that are doing 9s, 10s, and 11s. Okay, because historically, we get only 50% of the 9 and 10-year-old game cards. 50%. Sherry and I got to go through all of those faxes, okay, to start matching things up. That takes a lot of time. We're trying to automate as much as possible, and the best way to do that is to get those game cards in. One of the new things this year that you will need to address with your coaches, with your referees, okay? Because I am not going to anticipate that every coach knows what's going on. I would venture to say a good 40 to 50% of them don't have a clue. This year, we will have an under 9 or 9 and under developmental league. Okay? What that means is this. 9 and under rules apply as insofar as goal size, build outline, throw-ins, goalkeeper punts, and what's the other one, Merrick? Build outline, goalkeeper punts, offsides, throw-ins. It's going to be just
no headers.
Sorry, no headers. Well, obviously, yeah. But the 9 and under is going to be just like a regular 9 and under game. The players that will only be allowed in those games are 2010 and 2011s. Okay? No guest players, no handwritten players in, no nothing. If they're on the game card, play. If they're not on the game card, I don't care what the excuse is, they cannot play. And if they don't have enough, they forfeit. Okay? This is how we get, you know, the referees, the younger referees, this is how we get them to understand what's going on. Okay? And, you know, last year, I got to sit and watch 12 games. My grandson was playing in that CDL in that league, in that division. I can tell you this: out of 12 games, 2 referees knew what the heck they were doing. Okay, build out lines. Okay, very important, especially with 6 and 7-year-olds. Come on, build out line. If it is not equidistant between the top of the box and the midfield line, you are to instruct your referees that they are to use the midfield line as the build-out line. So the players must retreat back to midfield. And coaches think that's crazy, that they got to run all the way back there, then tell them, put a line in between the box and the mid line. Okay? That's their problem, not ours, not yours. Certainly not yours. But what we're what we want to do is we want to make sure that these younger kids have at least have the ability to look up and not just kick the ball out of bounds. Okay, because that's pretty much what happened last year in the CDL. Half of the fields had no build out line, so they were using the top of the box. Put 7 kids on the top of the box. Okay, waiting for a ball to get rolled out to the kid on the kid wide, and watch what happens. You know, he gets pounced on. And he just kicks the ball out of bounds. He's got nothing else to do.
Are write-in players allowed in any leagues this year then, or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because last year U9 and U10 they could write in still, right?
No, they were not allowed.
Oh.
They were not allowed to. Not for USA.
Okay, maybe that was something different.
That was CDL. CDL doesn't care.
Okay.
You can write in a 16-year-old and wouldn't care.
I thought on the USA there was a little thing on the bottom last year.
No, they were allowed. They were allowed club pass players.
Okay.
They were allowed up to 3. They were allowed up to 3 club pass players per age group, but not in this one.
Okay.
Okay, because this is the lowest. I don't know where you'd be getting players from the club pass.
Right. Okay.
And especially at that age, they're only allowed to play 1 game a day. They're not allowed to play 2. So if they're being club passed from another team, more than in another 8-year-old team, let's say they have 3 8-year-old teams, there's a pretty good bet that they already played a game.
Oh, they can't play more than 1 game?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that happen a lot. Okay.
At that age, they can't. That's why we're not allowing club passes or anything. They must be registered to the team.
So for any USA game, they must be on the printed roster.
Yes.
No,
Right,
okay.
the game card, right. We don't know, not the printed roster.
I mean the game card. Sorry, I mean the roster on the game.
Just so.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to make sure everybody realizes that's the game card, not the roster. We don't roster. I'd throw away.
Yeah. That's what I meant. I don't even collect roster.
Right, it's on the roster. So, as far as like I said, line is going to be a developmental. There should only be 6 and 7-year-olds out there. If by chance you come across a pass of an 8 or a 9-year-old, you just tell them go back over and watch the game with your parents. They're not eligible to play. You know, somebody may try to sneak in a pass of a kid that would be eligible to play 9 and under, the normal 9 and under age group. Okay, believe me, I went to quite a few fields last year and saw 9-year-olds beating up on 5. I mean, seriously.
Okay.
You know, well, that's ridiculous. And the kid's sitting there in midfield and whacking balls in from midfield because he can kick the ball 25 yards as a 9-year-old. And you got a little 5-year-old goalkeeper in there that's 3'6". You know, and going to stop a ball that's hit like that. So, again, the biggest problem. Please let your referees know I feel the biggest problem that they will have is controlling the parents at that age. Because parents at that age think that it's a World Cup game. Okay?
Oh, okay.
The other, one more, then we'll go. Then I'll take the questions. The other rule change with this age group with these 8-year-old players. We haven't decided on the playing time yet. Right now, we got it at 4 times 8. It may get up to 4 times 10. We may go with 4 10-minute quarters. Okay, which I believe, we said 8, but we'll probably relent to 10. That's a good amount of time. We would hope and think that the coaches would play the kids 50% of the time. They wouldn't leave the kids sit on the bench and put them in for 10 minutes. That they give the kids 50%. And here's the other thing. Once the game is, which I would consider getting out of hand, close to out of hand, when there's a 4-goal differential. Okay? We haven't decided whether the 4-goal team takes a player off or the team that's taken 4 goals adds another player. Okay? We'll be discussing that this weekend at the AGM. So be aware that once it becomes 4-0 or becomes 6-2, okay, something has to happen. One comes off or one's coming on, an additional player. Okay, is that going to make a difference? Maybe not. But you never know. But we kind of want to balance things out so it doesn't get quite a few games last year I saw that were 15-0, and there's no cost. Yes, sir. Questions?
Yes. We're not using ARs on these U10. Is it U10 and U10 and under games because the field is too small for ARs, or?
Is that correct, Merritt? Can't hear you. You're muted. Hold on.
Because there's no offside.
Yeah, you were muted there. We didn't hear you. 9s and 10s. Do they have ARs?
I don't know. They're not having them, but probably because of the size of the field. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I don't think. I know the developmental league last year and the CDL did not have ARs. They only had centers, and I believe that's the same for the 9s and 10s.
Right. Yeah, there's no way.
There are no ARs.
Right, but in other words, what is the reason? It's because the field is too small that you don't need ARs, or because of cost?
Probably a cost issue, to be honest. Money.
Money's the big thing. We're already getting pushback. Our suggested fee for center for the 9 developmental was $25. Okay, and I'm getting pushback from that from probably about 10% of the clubs. So
okay. So the only concern about that is it's better to have 6 eyes on a field than only 2 eyes, because if the referee's watching the play and there's a fight going on behind them, the referee's hard for him to see who started it, and you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I've been there. It's, we have seasoned referees that do the older games for obvious reasons. I always want to see seasoned referees do the younger ones as well, because, nothing gets out of hand, in those games as well. So, and with our referee retention not as good as it should be, and we're losing good referees because they don't really want to, put up with all the garbage that's going on out there. We're in a catch-22 here.
To kind of answer your question about the ARs, we don't have enough referees as it is. And if you got 2 or 3 games going on and you're trying to put ARs on all those games, that would be a lot of extra referees that we don't have. You might need to be doing 11 and 12 games instead of 9 and 10 games.
Merritt,
Right.
Merritt, where do you put the onus on building a club's referee stable?
The assigner.
Thank you. Okay.
Assigner should help. The assigner assigns the referees, so he's the one that should be approaching the club hires the local assigner. The local assigner needs to go to the club and say, hey, we need to have a class. We need to start signing up people. Everything's now online. We're going to have field training, but to become a referee, everything, all the instruction and the tests and the registration is online. You don't even have to go to a class anymore.
Okay.
Good point. I forgot about that too there, Merrick. Ken Miller told us at the Region C AGM that he will put on as many field classes, 4-hour field sessions as necessary. So if you want to team up with a neighboring club, get with that assigner, that local assigner from that club, and pick a time in a field where both of you can meet with the majority of your referees. He's not going to put on a class for 5 or 6 referees. As long as you got a dozen or more, it's going to be worth his while to come out. Right now, they're not charging. Right now, that's not to say by the middle of the season that'll change, but as of now, they're not charging to do those field sessions. So I would get with a couple clubs and then get to Ken and get a field session set up.
Greg, we have a field clinic that we were setting up for the end of August. Stephen Richardson is in charge of that.
They're charging now, are they?
No, Stephen Richardson is in charge of setting up the field clinic for the end of August. It's going to be him and one other state level referee. I think it's a girl. I forget her name.
Is it for high school?
No, we're not. This isn't high school, Harry. This is USSF. Okay?
This is USA.
USSF, and this is the USA League. We're only talking about USA League and USSF, okay?
I got an email from Ken Miller that said he's offering a class on the 26th in Brandon.
Well, there you go.
A field clinic at J.C. Hamley Park, 26, 9 to 1:30. And he said there is no cost to you. State and national referee candidates will be on hand to assist in this training.
Right. That's the same thing for the one in Pinellas County. And Stephen Richardson and another state referee is setting that up too over here in Pinellas County.
Anybody?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, is that entry level? Did they say?
No, it's not an entry level. There are no entry. This is just pure, class for supposedly everybody.
Okay.
Everybody and anybody. New people. That's what I was told by Steve.
There's no registration?
I don't know what FSR is doing as far as that.
Okay. I hadn't heard either, so.
I have a question. Every year when we recertify, we pay the fees for recertification. On God Soccer, you have to do a background check for every 6 months. Am I correct?
No. It's once a year. It starts July 1st and it runs to the end of June.
Okay. Because on God
You can't register. You have to register every year starting on July 1st for the next year. Okay?
Okay. But why does the background check on God Soccer? Is it 2 different background checks?
There's only going to be one background check, and what they've done this year is they put the background check and you paid online. It will not include on your recertification. Okay? Because now what they're doing is they're not charging the kids a background check. Okay? It's just anybody 18 and over.
So
okay.
let you know, and Dave is, as you can spread the word, is the board of referees is not doing background check. Background check is done by FYSA through
Right.
Got Soccer.
Who got soccer, right?
So that's why you're not paying for any background check this year, and through the FSR. Separately.
Yeah, but they still raise the money there too.
Right.
I think it's
Okay.
$70 or $75 for recertification.
Right, not the 130.
Well, it was,
Okay.
it was 95 last year. It was 95 last year for FSR for recertification and background check. Now this year it's going to be, if it's $70 or $75, it's either going to be 110 and 115 together. But you have to pay $40 for the background check before you even can take your recertification or entry class, if you are 18 and over.
But they do it that way because it's just cheaper, or they do it that way
Now,
because
they do it that way because they were charging the kids a background check, which they never did do a background check because kids under 18 don't get a background check. So they were saving all this money up all these years so they could pay it back to us.
okay.
Right, Merritt?
Okay.
Before we get to anything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call off some names. Could you please tell me your club and who your assigner is? Okay.
USA assigned.
Yeah, your USA regional assigner and the club you're with. Okay. Let's start out. Hassan. Hassan, are you still there? You're on mute. Who's your regional assigner? Which club?
I get assigned by Tony.
Okay, Tony. Okay, what club you with?
I'm not sure.
What club do you assign for?
They don't do it. He does.
Are you a referee?
Yeah, I'm referee.
Okay, you're not an assigner. Okay. All right. Bruce Walton.
I'm not a referee. I'm a referee instructor and referee mentor.
Okay. All right. Jay Sousa.
Tony is my assigner. I'm a referee.
Okay, thank you. Alexander.
Jim Walsh, referee.
Okay. Let's see. I got somebody here called Wilson. That's all I got is Wilson. I don't know anything else but Wilson. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I don't have that. Joe Kierzik.
Tony Mealy and West Citrus.
Thank you. Joan. I see your name, Joan. Oh no. Okay. I'm not going to call your name, Dimitri. I know where you're at. I know where Dave's at. John Lintz.
Olsmar and Dave Peterson.
Who's your Deegan or Peterson?
Lovely and talented Dave Peterson.
Peterson. Okay. Klauka? Joel?
Yeah, that's me. I don't really. I work for Neil Frasden.
Okay.
And I'm a referee.
Which club? Oh, you're just a referee. You don't assign. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill Lawrence. Is Bill Lawrence still there? Okay. Mr. Calloway or Miss Calloway? I know everybody can hear me. I'm trying to figure out why these folks can't. Mainly probably because they're all on. What you can do is you can take yourself off on mute. Answer. That's the problem. I think everybody's all muted. Okay, Bill Lawrence, Callaway, no idea. Nenad. Nobody there. Okay. Harry, you a referee or an assigner?
I'm a referee. I'm a referee.
Okay. Sergio.
Hi, I'm a referee. I have Hugo Sorens and Megan Martinez.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'll tell you what.
can do it.
What's that?
My assignment is Bert Dumas. My assignment is Bert Dumas. Do you know who that is? Bert Dumas?
I know who Burke is, yeah.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
He's a funny guy.
Okay. Brian. Shukri.
Yeah, I'm a referee and I get assigned by Dave Peterson.
Okay, thank you. Robert, Andrew.
I'm an assigner. I work at First Hernando and Tony Mealy.
Thank you. Bill, William Labret.
I'm a referee at Florida Soccer Club in Zimbabwe.
Okay, cool. Eric Edwards.
Whoever will take me.
Whoever will take you.
I'm a referee. Usually Tony Mealy, but it varies.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ray, we know where you're at. I got a Bob and I got a Chad. Do we have a Bob there?
Bob Gregg.
Assigner? Assigner or referee?
Yes. Signer, referee, all in one.
Which club?
Chargers.
So that's, was that Peterson?
Yes.
And Chad, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm a referee. I was working with Dave Peterson, but I just moved out to Riverview, so.
Okay, Riverview.
The signer is out here now.
Okay, Tom Brennan.
Referee Dave Deegan.
Thank you. I got somebody by the name of Pixel. What the heck is that? Actually, all I see on there is Pixel.
That's a phone.
That's the phone? Who's got a Pixel phone?
That would be Ed Rush from Seminole Shooting Stars. Dave Peterson is my
Okay, thank you.
referee assigner.
Okay, great. Jason Warren.
Dave Deegan,
Are you a signer or ref?
referee, and also James Bowen.
Okay. Todd, are you still there?
Yes, referee.
Guna. I know you're there. I see you popping in and out. Doug Taylor. Ed Sanchez.
Referee Gene Vars.
Thank you. Gilbert Rosario. Okay, thank you. Troy. Troy C. Okay. All right. What I would suggest is what we're going to do is we are going to put, who did I miss? If I missed anybody, would you please IM me, message me? If you're, I want to make sure I got all the assigners though. If you're an assigner,
Hey, Greg?
yes, sir.
Kyle Phillips is on, but he has no speaker capabilities on his computer. He's a referee for Dave Deegan.
Okay, thank you. Did I miss any assigners? club assigners. So I got all the club assigners. No more. The rest are referees. Okay.
Hey, Greg?
Yes, sir.
The Costellos are out here, but Mandy, John, and Andy Costello.
Okay.
Andy likes to work a lot with Bert Gummis and locally with Sue Malone. We do some work with Yanni Roditis as well, and Dave Deegan.
Okay, thank you.
Greg, can you hear me?
Yes,
Will Conjemi, Tony Mealy.
thank you.
Greg, can you hear me?
Yes.
Bill Crawford, I work with David Deegan.
All right.
Hi, this is Mateus Dos Anjos. I'm a referee and I work for Demetrios Papas and Bert Gummis.
Okay, Burke. So here's where things get convoluted because I know that Jim Vars hands games off to Burke. And then Burke hands off games to somebody else, and then somebody else hands off games to somebody else. What we need to make sure we have a decent chain of command here, and that there's some accountability at all levels. So what I will do is this: I will make sure that this gets uploaded to the USA website. So if there's if anybody missed any questions, or any referees that want to take a look at some of the issues that we talked about, they'll be more. They can just go through and they can fast forward. They can do whatever they want. Do we have any other questions though regarding the upcoming season, which starts next?
Greg, Greg, I don't know if you can hear me. It's Tim Bassell out of Polk. I've been a 6 and a 15 for the last 30 years.
Okay.
I work with Dave Deegan.
Thank you, Tim. Like I said, the season's supposed to start next Saturday, and I'm not sure. I haven't gone in to look in there yet because I've got too much other stuff to do. I'm not sure if they push the games back to the 13th on Sunday, so that the majority of the coaches can make the AGM, at least on Saturday when all the sessions are going on. So.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, sir.
I had assigned on Saturday have been.
You do have a game assigned on Saturday?
No, they were They were assigned and then they were canceled within 48 hours. So.
Okay, then they did move the games.
Come on, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, this is Ed. For what it's worth, I got assigned a game on Saturday at 5 p.m. So I don't know what time the AGM is, but it's a late game on Saturday.
The AGM starts at 8 o'clock and it goes till on Saturday. It's going to go to at least 7, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And it's in Orlando, so if anybody's going, you know what the travel time is like coming back to Tampa on I-4. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I just check this out.
what I would, for this weekend, I would hope everybody goes out and the assigners at least go back out and make sure that the games are still. Everybody's been assigned and that there's games there, and we'll have to get word. We'll have to get word to everybody as well that if they're pushing games off, that the referees need to know in advance, so they're not showing up at the field. Because if there's no, if there's no way, if nobody's changed that and we haven't been informed, then that's up to whoever the home club is. It's up to them to pay you guys, or we'll fine them and then we'll pay you, but we'll fine the club.
I just checked my schedule. I still have a game on the 12th.
On Saturday?
Yeah.
I'd check and make sure that that's still on.
Okay.
I would check just to make sure, because like I said, I'd hate for you guys to send somebody out there, and the coaches have worked something out, and I'm not sure whether or not you guys actually have. I guess you don't. There was no reason for you to do that. the coaches have myself, Sherry, and the coaches have the ability to go into the schedule and pick up the game, and then we'll take a look at the game. We know who the referees are that are assigned, and then there's also a check function on each of the games assigned. So I don't know if the assigners may have that ability to also look at that. You may want to go in and check the game out in Got Soccer and see if there's any talk between the coaches. If the checkbox is free, there's nothing in there, then okay, then they haven't talked at all. So, do whatever. If the assigners, okay, those of you that are assigners, it was pretty, the response that the number of people that are here was obviously very easy for y'all to get into this type of forum. Agreed? I mean, you're here, you're partaking, the quality should be fairly decent. We're in the process, we could be in the process, if you'd like, to get a few more licenses, okay? And what they would be is they would be set up by region, and your regional assigner would have the ID and the password to get in. So if you wanted to set up a meeting with your referees, okay, you can do so using this type of form right here. Okay?
Yeah. I stopped going the other nights too. Till I woke up, you know, I was good just like any other night. Till I wake up from pain, I'm alright.
Who is that speaking, please?
Oh yeah, well, it's not near as sticky.
Okay, so that's my email address. If you need anything, you give me a yell. But if the regional assigners, I'll be sending you an email Monday or Tuesday this week. And if you need to get this down to your club assigners, if you guys want to have monthly meetings with your staff, okay, is it overkill? Is it not? That's up for you. That's up to you to decide. But if you think once a month, a half hour to 45-minute talk about what's happened during the last couple of weeks. Are there any issues? Are you getting the support you need from us, from the regional refs, from whoever? If you think that's worth something, we will go out and pay for the software so that you guys can use that with your referees. And I noticed some of you guys are on cell phones, some are on laptops, some are on tablets. Sherry made the May meeting in the back of a SUV on her way back from Buffalo. She was on her cell phone, and the reception was just as we're talking right now. It was that good. So, in case you're interested, Dimitri, it's WebEx. All their designers bailed and went to Zoom. That's why this stuff is so good. Because they paid him a boatload of money to get to leave WebEx behind and come for them and design all this. This is all cloud technology. So, but like I said, if anybody's interested, please get with your regional guys. So I know if I need to buy one license, 2 or 3 or whatever, and we go from there. Does anybody have anything that they would like to discuss concerning refereeing, games, behavior, whatever? We in good shape.
I have a quick question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, my question is, if we as referees show up at the field and there's nobody there, you know, like they cancel the game or I don't know, there's nobody there, then what we do? We just call the assignment to see what's going on, or maybe we're going to say.
What'll happen is, yeah, if there's no game, you turn in the game card. Okay, you just what you would do is you turn in your game card. You tell them you waited your 20 minutes. You were there 20 minutes past the time of the game. Nobody showed, and put that in as a no-show, and we'll deal with it.
Well, Greg, that's why it's important for you guys to fill out Got Soccer.
Right.
You got to go on.
So we get paid. Do we still get paid that day, or we won't get paid basically
You'll get paid from me.
Imaginary.
No,
Oh, that day?
no, hell no. I'm not that good. I'm not that good. Paychecks.
Full Express.
Referee checks. This will go into the next meeting, the next monthly meeting. Okay. We need to be able to find a club, okay, or a team for them not showing up, because if they absolutely just didn't show up, it's a $350 fine. Okay. And what'll happen is right after that meeting, I will cut the checks for your ARs, for the ARs, and
although referees don't like checks and stuff.
the referees don't like checks. Sorry. I don't know that. I mean, unless you want to give me your bank account,
Okay.
I'll wire
You
it to
can
you.
send his check to me.
I'll be more than happy to wire it to your bank account. Anybody else? Checks? Anybody want checks? I'll give you guys a check if you don't want them.
Hey, Greg.
Yes,
Greg, the reason why games are being changed Saturday is because of the AGM in Orlando?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Coaches want to go to the AGM for the training sessions and everything else.
Well, I know that, but you know you're not going to get 100%. I have 5 games scheduled, and all the refs have all logged on and said they were doing it.
Okay.
I got three at the Celtics and 2 in Oldsmar.
Obviously,
Maybe they're not going to.
Obviously, they're not going to the AGM.
Well, you know, there's more than 2 or 3 people at a club, Greg.
Understood. But you know, you've been to an AGM before, and there's a couple thousand people there.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
The place is packed. Some of the presentations are good, some are crap.
Right, exactly.
But bottom line is, probably only 50% of people go therefore gets disseminated down to at the team level.
I think the percentage is a lot lower than 50%.
A lot lower. I was being kind, but I know the league reps and the state reps from each club should be having that information handed out at the monthly club meeting, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So that's where your percentages lie, as to how well the clubs are organized, and if the information's getting down to where it needs to get to.
Right. I was just asking about the reason why.
Yeah, what I'm going to be drilling this into everybody's head for the next 4 months, because what I'm concerned about is when these 8s hit the field in end of October, 1st of November. Okay, we're certainly not going to have seasoned referees. We're going to have younger referees, I would say 13 to 14 years old, doing these games, and they need to know things that our senior referees still fail, okay, to realize about write-ins, that kind of stuff, what the game card should look like. All right, it should only have who's registered. That's all that plays, number one. Number two, they need to address the field markings. Is there a build out line? Blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff. And, all they do is what I know from, like I said, from experience, they go in, they take a look. They don't even look at the nets to see if the nets are okay. They just, talk to the coaches, the kids, and off they go. They play. So, but this is going to be just like any other game. They'll have player pass cards. They'll have a game card. They'll have to be checked in. I just don't want to see that going by the wayside. And if we can get that drilled into the younger referees, we won't have any issues going forward. It'll be a nice deal.
Sure.
Ed, you got something? Anybody? Nope. That's pretty good. We had,
yes. How long is the USA League? Is it from August all the way to October? Or?
USA this year starts next week, and it'll go all the way till probably March 1st. It's supposed to be March 1st, but there's a load of games that get played after that because of coaches calling games off and blah blah blah. So it's
Oh, okay. Okay, so USA League is being played during high school season as well?
No,
Oh, it's not?
no. Senior season is split, so to speak. It goes from August 12th till the second week of October, I believe. Because I know high school, I used to coach high school for 30 years. Captain's practice usually starts the 1st of October, and then they really don't start going full tilt to the second week of October, to where the coaches are allowed to be on the pitch with them.
Preseason games are the last 2 weeks of October, and then high school starts the 1st of November.
Right, but the coaches are allowed to be with their teams after the second week of October.
Right, right.
So that's why
Girls start first, and the boys the following week.
Right. And keep in mind, things change between public schools and private schools, and between Hillsborough and Pinellas and Polk and all the rest of the counties. They're all different. I'm expecting I'm expecting to go to a high school game this year and find that the high school referees whipping out a pink card. I mean, how many colors we got now? We got red, yellow, green. There's
blue.
Blue.
In Hillsborough County, we got at least 4 cards, so I'm expecting a 5th pink one to come out this year.
No, it's just yellow, red, and blue. That's all.
Yeah, but hold on. What senior season means? What, U15 through U19? That's what senior season.
Yes.
Right. Well, here's the answer. I'm not sure who's asking the question, but the answer is USA runs this week through March 31st. The senior coaches do not schedule games during high school season. Okay? So they schedule games after high school. Now, playoffs might be going on, but they schedule games, after the high school. It's up to the senior coaches and junior coaches when to schedule their games. So we're here to administer that and set that up. So, and that's the deal. Most of them don't play during high school because they can't get them together. But they do go to tournaments. I know that. They'll get their club team together, and they'll go to Disney and play a tournament. They'll go down to Lakewood Ranch and play a tournament. So
they go to Raleigh too.
And they'll go off and play tournaments. But the USA League runs from August to March. And then the coaches and clubs are responsible for scheduling their games. Okay?
Oh, okay.
He wanted a breakdown of age groups.
Yes.
A what?
Because
he wanted to know what kids play when. The little kids don't play till end of October. The older kids play now. That's what he was trying to figure out.
Okay.
Right. 15, 16, 17s, and 18s, and 19s play now. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Junior season won't start till we haven't even had the coaches meeting yet, so we don't even know how many teams we got.
But it usually starts November 1st.
It'll probably be before that this year. Yeah, it'll probably start before that. Hey, Ray, I see your box lighting up 3 or 4 times, Ray. You don't have your mic on, so I can't hear you. Just so you know. We're not trying to ignore you, Ray. We just can't hear you. And looks like Ray's not here no more. I guess he didn't feel any love, so he left. Okay. Everybody's cool. We're all on the same page, right?
Yeah, I have another question.
Sure.
If a player who's playing USA, they're allowed to play at other leagues as well, right?
Do I know that happens? Yes, I know that happens. Do I care that it happens? I'm not a policeman.
No.
I don't really care.
Right.
That's not our concern.
That's not our concern. But we have had some vigilante coaches, okay, follow players around and watch them play 2 and 3 games in a day. Have taken video footage and pictures and everything else and presented it. And you know what? If the information is conclusive, then we have to do something with it. But majority of the time, it's, you know, if they want to go play CDL and then play in our game later, we can't police that. You know, we're not going to run around the field.
I have a question for you. You were talking, you see USA League has mentors and a mentors program. Can you expand upon that?
Yeah, what happens is Bruce is one of them. I think we got three referees, 3 guys that used to referee that go out and they evaluate the referees. They go out and watch. Let's say you're doing a center, okay? So they've got criteria, pretty much just like you would getting your license, or if you're going to get a next level license. You know, what's your appearance look like? You know, how well do you manage the game? How well are you? Well, Merritt, you can tell them that. You know, how's your positioning on the field? You know, in regards to the play. Did you handle the game? Were there any issues? That kind of thing. And what they do is if there's an issue of sorts, they'll sit down with the referee afterwards or whatever, make an appointment to talk with them about, well, you know, you had this instance with this on the field, and okay, this is how you may want to handle it the next time, or you know, if there's a flagrant or a misuse or a misunderstanding of the rules of the game, even, you know, that'll be brought to the referee's attention as well. So, like I said, there's I think we got 3 guys that go out there and evaluate the referees that are out there. So, if you've been around long enough and want to get in on that, give Bruce Walton a call. He'll tell you what's all involved and how we will manage getting. You know, that's something that Merritt. Are you going to take that over this year? Merritt left, right? He knew I was going to ask him that question, so he left. Yeah.
I think they're still working that out as far as the momentum.
Yeah, but that's something I need to get back with you guys and with the assessors, and you know, because I'm not seeing a bang for the buck. You know, we're paying these guys to go out there. We're paying them mileage and a game fee to go out there, but I'm not seeing any. I don't have any results. Are those guys that they evaluated even still refereeing? You know, I don't know what the bang for the buck is. Okay, I know that the previous administration thought it was necessary to go out there and evaluate our referees from time to time, just to keep you guys on your toes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the reason.
Quality control.
A quality control, sure. Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
That makes sense. It makes sense to a point, but
I've worked a game where a mentor came out and I thought it was beneficial, but up until
good.
I had no idea the mentor was even coming, so it's kind of a shock to me that.
And that's the way. That's good. Did he? Chad, my question to you is: did he address himself prior or after the game?
Prior.
Okay, we got to talk to him about that. I would just assume them not do that. I don't need you being on your best behavior because you got somebody watching you. Okay, I want you doing your own thing and how you do it and when you do it, and then we talk about you know, how you did, not you know, pre-warn you and go, oh my God, I better pull my shorts up and get my socks.
I believe it was prior, but he also set up his chair on the coach's side of the field, and I probably addressed it, and he introduced himself at that point.
Okay, all right. I used to do evaluations for National ODP. I was a regional coach and Super Y. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm not even going to go there. But the bottom line is, anytime I went out to the field to evaluate a player and or a coach, I kept my distance. I was off to the side. They didn't even know I was there. Okay, and I would copy them on my evaluation if they wanted to talk. I set up a two-way street if they wanted to, but it's always nice, like I said, especially and player evaluations especially. You don't want you want the player in his own habitat doing what he's the same thing with the referee. I don't need a referee blowing a whistle every 20 seconds because he knows I'm watching. Okay. Hey, don't tell me that doesn't happen. But it's true. It's true. Stuff like that doesn't happen. Are we good? Or do we need another cup of coffee?
Yes. Yeah, I have a question. Can USA games be used for an assessment for an upgrade?
That's a good question, Dave.
Yes. You just got to get with your assessor, whoever that might be in the area. Merritt would know that. And there are a handful of assessors around. And if you can schedule it, of course it has to be, I think it's, to be assessed now, I think you have to have at least U17s. I don't even think they do U16s anymore.
Yeah, it has to be a full length.
17.
17.
Yeah, so for any kind of
be a full length 45-minute game.
Yeah, for any kind of assessments, you need to email Ken Miller on for any kind of upgrades or assessments. And like Dave said, it's U17s or higher for grade 7s.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Girls are fine. Girls and boys doesn't matter.
Yeah, it can be girls. It can be boys. Girls and boys. As long as it's a full length field. Full length game.
Okay.
Okay? But it can't be wrecked.
Okay.
It has to be competitive. Okay?
Right. Right. I get that. That. Although, is that true that girls are less competitive than boys? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Girls are less what?
Girls are very competitive.
Oh,
very competitive, okay?
Dude, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
About it too.
Hey, seriously, like I says, I look pretty old, okay? You guys remember Michelle Akers from the women's national team, okay?
Right.
I used to, Robbie, her husband, her ex right now, I used to work camps with him years ago. And we had Chris Lilly, Michelle Akers. We had all these women's national team players at our camp, and we'd have a game at night, okay? And I'm telling you what, they kicked our ass all the time. They would kick our ass. And I've seen my daughter played high school. I'm telling you what, they are just nasty. They are nasty. So, the game may, depending on what level you're at, the game may be a little slower to develop, okay? But as far as the intensity, the technical ability now of the girls is starting to catch up to the boys. Sometimes, and depending on, have surpassed depending on the age. These aren't the girls from years ago. Trust me, they're not, and we don't even call them girls anymore. I call them, they're women, female, footballers. We don't call them girls anymore. They take offense to that. So watch yourself, or you'll get a ball in the back of the head while you're walking off the pitch.
Okay. And USA fees for referees increased, right, this year?
This year, the referees' fees are being increased, correct.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Because you're much better than last year. Harry, all you have to do for all these other things that you want to know, if you go on US Soccer, it has everything there, okay? Has all the fees, has all the information, everything else, okay?
Yeah, we like to think our website is all inclusive, and we've thought about everything.
It's a very good website. Use it. Everybody should use it.
What we want to make sure is that we don't want to put the cart before the horse or whatever, but okay, we're increasing the fees. I don't know, it's $20 or so more for a senior game. I can't remember what it is.
Seniors are 70, 35.
70 and 35.
Right.
I'll tell you what. For me to get $70 years ago when I refereed, I'd have to do 3 games. You know.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't get paid much. We didn't get paid much years ago. I would do a youth game in the morning, a Division II college game in the afternoon, and a high school game at night, just to make my car payment and rent sometimes. But no, go out to the website. Everything's there. The thinking is this: we want the best referees in our league. Now I understand you guys do CDL, you do NPL, you do PDQ, ABC, XYZ, whatever leagues they got out there, and I'm sure there's going to be 5 or 6 more popping up in the next couple years. It's going to come down. My vision eventually, I can see us as USA having our own referees. And we will pay you to be our referees, not CDL, not FSPL, USA referees. Okay, we're going to want them, and we will reward you with that commitment and your ability to, the loyalty and retention with us. Because, like I said, it's getting out of hand right now, and these guys that do the assigning, they don't know, how many leagues you're refereeing in. And if you take boys and girls across all those and then throw Florida State Premier, Region 3, and all the rest of that in there, it's ridiculous. I don't know how how you guys do that stuff. I really don't. But like I said, the thinking is we're going to reward you. We like the job you're doing, but okay, and the big but is this: if you don't turn in your game cards and you don't report the games correctly, we will know. And I will tell Dave, I will tell Jim Vars, I will tell Deegan, I will tell Tony Mille, I will tell Hugo, do not use this guy again. So you'll be off the USA games unless you're absolutely positively needed. You'll be off doing CDL and FBL and all those other games.
So you want these faxed and put in through Got Soccer?
I'm sorry?
You want the game reports faxed as well?
Right. Let me put it this way. If I see this year an increase, okay, in games reported, we can do away with the fax, because I can get the team managers to fax us the final game score. Okay.
Yeah. Brian, if you just take a picture of the game report with your iPhone or whatever the hell you're using and send it in to Sherry right then and there, it's done. Okay?
So via email, all right.
Yeah.
No, just, on your phone, message, email, whatever.
Take it right there. Take it right there.
Right there.
Then you don't have to worry about, oh God, I got paperwork to do tonight. The only paperwork you'll have to do is to go up to Got Soccer and load the card, load it up, and do the report of the game.
Right.
So
everything's easy.
Can you throw her email on the chat, please?
I'm sorry?
Can you throw her email on the chat, please?
The email?
That's in U.S. Soccer too.
It's USA Game Reports.
I'll put it out here to you.
I was just writing notes from this, so
that's why we have websites. We have all the information there, Harry.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Has based on the last couple of years, has the quality of the referees been good to USA, or you think it should have been some improvement? Or are you impressed?
Well, we're not going to throw good money after bad referees. Okay. So we're not going to sit here and pay an extra $25 for a senior game if you're not doing your job. But what we're saying is, obviously the evaluations coming back from our assessors, we're not getting as many as we should. We don't have as many assessors. All we can judge it by, seriously, is the amount of game reports that get turned in and how many games are finished successfully without incident. Okay, and it's real easy when I'll go scan. We can have 300 to 500 games scheduled in a weekend. Maybe more like 200 to 300 in a weekend. And I can go look and Got Soccer off of the tool I have, and I can tell right away. I'll look and I'll say, okay, this game had 4 yellows, this one had 3, this had 2 reds, this had whatever. That's all ticked and accumulated by your returning your game cards in. Okay, if I see nothing there, okay, I'll pick 1 or 2 or 3. Just I'm not going to go look through every 200 game reports. But believe it or not, I did find 2 games last year where there was nothing in there, and I found out there was a fight that broke out, and the game was suspended, was abandoned rather, and there was nothing on the game report on the database lookup, and I don't know why. If there was a supplemental report, I would not see that in Got Soccer. The supplemental would come via email. So are our referees doing a better job? I would like to think so. Like I said, and based on last year, I would say 50-50, based on the number of fights and police reports we had. But if you do, Dave, do you have the ability as an assigner to go in and check the standings? Because can anybody here go and check the standings in Got Soccer?
Standing as far as what, the league standings with games?
Yeah, let's say if you want to go into the U16 boys from last year, can you go?
I can do that.
Yeah, go in there and pick an age group.
Right.
Pick an age group and take a look at the number of yellows and reds that pop up immediately on that. When you see the teams all listed there and wherever they are in the table at that time, take a look.
Right.
You're going to see 20 yellow cards and 6 reds, and they've only played 9 games. Okay, that tells me there's something wrong. It really does. Somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also check on yellow cards and red cards and who are giving them out and everything. If I see a pattern, I'll call them up and say why.
We got a question from Joan. Yes, Joan. The answer is yes. Do we want rosters faxed, scanned along with the game card? If you fax the game card, it's got the roster on it, right?
Right.
So all we need is the game card and the what's the other thing I'm looking for, Dave? It's not the game card. It's the three part.
Oh yeah. All right.
The game report. Okay, we got a game card that we like faxed. Because when we look for players, if somebody has said, yeah, they're using an illegal player, I need to see what the game card said. That's number 1. The game report is what's filled out in is a triplicate report, and that has the final score, and it's signed off by both coaches and the referee. Referee signs it, both coaches. That's what gets faxed to Sherry.
And also when the referees check in on the game report, they're supposed to check off in the checkoff box.
Thank you.
Okay? Because there are players that play like guest playing and all that other stuff that's noted. There are 2 different colors there, right, Greg?
As far as the game report, one's yellow, one's pink, and one's white.
Right. No, not the game report, the card.
Oh, the game card.
The game card, and there's like a circle, like a red or a yellow that talks about what they are.
The only thing you're going to see on a game card is you'll see a line through a player if he's serving a red card.
Okay.
That means that player is not eligible to play. You will see, the only other thing you'll see on that game card is CP.
Right. Okay. There you go.
The club pass player, of which there can only in USA there can only be 3 club pass players on a team.
Right, and they have to be registered to USA Soccer. Okay, because some teams have tried to say they play for CDL, and there's an age group that's playing for USA. And they've tried to do that, and they can't. They have to be on USA.
Correct. Well, they can't. They can't be on the roster anymore. I've
Right.
already. I spent 2 weeks with Got Soccer, and we put rules in, okay, and requirements in with the programmers. I talked with the programmers directly, and no outside players. They have to be in the USA database. When your player signs up for a USA team, he or she's in a USA database. Only those players will be allowed to go on a game card.
Okay.
There's no way a CDL player can get on a game card.
But last year, if they played for NPL or somebody else, they could have, okay? But now this year they can't. Now,
This
I
year
mean,
right.
they could play, but they had you could still see their name on it.
What it should come up with is an S will be on the game card. Okay, if you by chance you see an S on a game card, that player is not allowed to play. That's a secondary registered player, which means registered to another team, and in the same club. Okay, TBU has how many teams? 300. They have an ungodly amount of teams. Okay, in any one age group, they could have 8 different teams that play in 8 different leagues.
Right.
All right. So even though the kid plays for TBU, if he doesn't play for the USA TBU team, he won't be allowed to play in the game. He may play for the NPL TBU or the CDL TBU. Those players won't be allowed to play. Not in a USA game. So, and it will show up on the card as such. As far as minimal requirements of a game report, from a game report standpoint, we must see both team names, the final score, signatures from both coaches and the referee. There is no minimum and maximum. That's what's necessary. All of that has to be there. Okay. If you do not have game reports, okay, if you run low, get with somebody in your club. Okay, somebody has extra ones. Trust me. I got a whole boatload here, and from when I was coaching. Okay.
Right.
Somebody in the club's got them, or just let us know and we'll get them to you.
Yeah, and if a coach is pissed off at the end of the game and he doesn't want to sign, just make sure the referees point that out, saying coach did not want to sign and initial.
Right.
They're supposed to sign, but you know how some coaches are sometimes.
Good point. And the reason behind that is the referee will put in a score into Got Soccer, 2-1 for this team, Team A.
Right.
When in fact it was 2-1 to Team B.
Right.
Okay. Our only recourse is to go to the game report.
Right.
Okay. And believe me, that's happened quite a few times last year, more than I'd like to admit.
Right.
What do you got, Bob?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, you're okay. Okay, I see you popping up there. I didn't know if your mic was working.
Who says you're Bob?
Pardon?
Yeah. That's okay. Everybody else dropped. Okay. The diehards.
I'm hanging on to the very end. So.
Yeah, the diehards are still here. Everybody else bugged out. It's time for some coffee, I guess. But other than that, I think we're good to go. We hope for a good season. I'm going to have sessions with, we used to come out and do sessions with referees years ago. I believe this is just as productive. I can show you film clips. I can show you my notebook and or anything. I can show you anything on here that I can show you in person. And I can run, like I said, I can run videos as well. So if we're looking for a teaching moment and we want to talk about offsides, whatever, okay, we can do it just as easily here. Okay, probably better because we don't have to go out onto the pitch and actually show, physically show, okay, is he on, is he off, where is he? Okay, you can see it. I can run you a little quick film clip and you can see what's going on. By all means, there's tons of stuff on YouTube. Okay, I got my granddaughter in the family room right now. She's watching some kind of garbage on YouTube. But there's a ton of stuff on refereeing and games and whatnot on YouTube. Take advantage of it, especially the younger guys need to watch games. They need to see.
Are we going to get VAR for USA?
Are we going to get an AR? Qualify that, please. I didn't understand that. Somebody had asked if the AR's pay was going to come up to what the center's pay is. And I didn't say this, and I'll deny it. But as soon as I go to a field and not see an AR on his phone while there's a game going on, then we'll talk about it. How's that? I can't tell you how many times I was at a game last year, and the AR is sitting there on his phone or her phone, texting or talking. That's just. I'm sorry. That's totally uncalled for and totally unprofessional. I understand they're teenagers, okay, but hey, can you do that in school? Can you do that in class? Can you take a phone call in class? I don't think so. Now, you might once, okay, and if you're booted out, that's it. You don't get that phone back. Yeah, that's that's good. You should have, Eric. You should have said something. You should have said something. Eric's question is: are we going to get VAR for the USA League? Does everybody know what VAR is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would appreciate some headsets before VAR.
Yeah. Well, don't be surprised if they put a microchip in the ball, okay, and somebody's going to come out with this magnetic paint that you're going to use to line the field, and the centers are going to have a little something in their ear to let you know when the ball crosses the line or doesn't cross the line. I could see that happening quicker than anything else. That would make. I mean, what do we need a guy? What do we need? Maybe you can tell me, Dave. What do we need an official on the end line for? I know the answer, but of what? I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen. I've seen the replay, okay, and it's a goal, and the guy's sitting right there. The referee's sitting right there, and he doesn't call it.
I know.
Why do we even bother putting a referee on the end line if he's not doing his job?
They use videotape a couple of times in a couple of different circumstances, and they got a couple of calls right, and it was pretty quick,
I didn't think the time lag was all that much. I thought it was well worth it.
Yeah, no, I thought so too.
But the Gold Cup just now, okay, I'm watching what's his name from the U.S. get elbowed in the face on the sideline. I don't know if you guys saw that when we were playing Honduras, okay, and I don't know who it was on the left side. It wasn't. Can't think of who it was, but he was running along the left flank up there, up about 25, 30 yards out, and the Honduran defender just came in with a nice tackle, sort of, except he took his elbow and smashed him right in the jaw.
Right.
Almost knocked him out.
Is that a red card?
What was that? What was the call? They got a yellow.
He got a yellow. And I think it happened in the box, and they took it outside the box.
They got a yellow. I mean, everybody here that keeps up with you guys are referees, okay? So I assume, and the fact you're here, I assume you keep up with what goes on. And when you take a look at the different leagues across the world, and you look at what the referendum and the initiative is for the referees this season, okay? For years they've been saying in the EPL that any shirt pulls in the box was an immediate red. Well, all the games that got played in the EPL, I think they may have called 2. Okay? And everybody's shirt's getting pulled, they're getting dragged to the ground, everything else. Nobody calls squat. You know?
That's a foul.
and nobody wants to call a PK a PK.
Right.
They've got everything. Everybody in their mind is it's all simulation, and they're faking it. They're diving. They're doing whatever. And I mean, you happen to know that Messi doesn't take a dive. Okay. Nope. Suarez, every once in a while, but majority not, because he's a brute. He's an animal. Okay. Neymar, that's another story. He's a puss. But, you know, Neymar dives every chance he gets. Ibrahimovic, if somebody pulls down Ibrahimovic, you better damn well know that's a foul. That guy's a horse. You know. So I just don't get it. You know, I mean, contact, a scoring chance gone by the wayside, and there's physical contact in the box, illegal physical contact. It's a kick. It's a spot kick. No question about it. But no matter what they do, you just still don't. You know, we still don't get it. So I give up. I give up. I hope
I
you
have
guys.
a question.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't seen where we have fourth officials in USA games.
We talked about that. We talked about that at length. I don't know how many times. And
expensive.
Well, here's the deal. What do you propose paying that referee?
Propose paying for what game? Example, like
If I put a fourth official on the sideline to keep the peace, what's his stipend going to be?
The fee of the center.
The fee of a center.
No. In the rec league that we have in Pinellas County, they only pay. Last year they only paid $20 for the fourth official. If they had a fourth official. Okay. They only have a fourth official when the club deems it and the club pays for it.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
and that's the only reason why they have a fourth official for that.
Okay, so if we so deem that we want to we talked about this last year. Seriously, we really did. And the pushback we got was that we were looking at paying 25, I think, and they said there's no way teams are going to pay for an additional 25 for a fourth official. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So that's why it didn't happen, because nobody was going to pay for it. All right.
Right.
And you know, his responsibility would be to just like the fourth officials do right now. Okay, keep the peace if there's anything that goes wrong. Make the substitutions and whatnot. And
substitutions are done properly.
Right. Well, good point. Substitutions are done properly. What I fear would happen if we put a fourth official in, we wouldn't get any games played after the second month. There would be no coaches left to coach because they'd all be on suspension for their language. And believe me, the language would be immediately directed right to that fourth official. They'd be in that fourth official's ear like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
Okay. And next thing you know, he's sitting there doing this with the flag, brings the center over to take the coach is gone. Yeah, right. He doesn't have an assistant, game gets abandoned.
Right.
Okay.
So the reason there's not one is because number one, cost, number two, safety, right?
Do what?
No, well, the reason there's not fourth officials is number one is cost, number two, safety, and number three is not needed, right? Fourth officials are not needed.
Well, it's not that I don't believe it's not that they're not needed. I guess I can see a need for it, but who pays for it? Where does the cost come from? You know, we just raised your fees per team. Okay. Now we're going to add an extra 25 to it. So basically, for a senior game, we're adding $50 to a game. Not going to happen. We've got to strike a balance here. As it is, let
me tell you this: as a referee, in a league where you're not recording the substitutions or anything like that, I don't see a need for a fourth official. The center should be able to take care of the coaches.
Good job. Good point.
Right. And the AR one.
But right.
Yeah,
But
or the AR1,
however,
exactly.
Yeah, and
however,
well, we allow free substitution. We're not. It's not super wide, where it's college rules basically. You're allowed to sub back in after the first half. You can't go. You can't go back in the half that you were pulled from. So if I pull my striker out, he's allowed to go back in the second half. Okay.
Exactly. Like in FSPL, it makes sense to have a fourth official because they want you to record down who's going in and who's going out and everything like that. In USA, you're not doing that, so there's no need.
Right. And it's for that reason, I believe, too. You can't substitute the player twice in one half.
Right. They can only
Yeah.
come in for the first half.
Right.
And they usually use their cards. They give it to the fourth official. So
Right.
we don't have that, so we don't need to worry about that.
Right. What
In NPL and some of the other Florida State League, there's no fourth official. You give it to the AR. And when you don't have a pass to give them, you can't put anybody in. So once you go in, you're in, and once you come out, you're out.
Okay.
And there's no pass to give them to redo it. So there's no need for a fourth official.
Right.
And
If you
ECNL
have,
is that way as well.
yeah, if you have an incident between coaches or something, then that's another story. And that's why the idea of having some people there on the sidelines that can just keep peace would have to kind of fill in that need.
right.
Now what's going to happen? My board's going to light up here, and we're going to want ARs to get paid an extra $20 because they're going to be doing substitutions now.
They were supposed to be doing that going along.
all they do is put the card in their pocket. That's all they do. They don't have to write anything down.
Right. Okay. And as a referee, let's say if I go to a game and I'm missing an AR, for example, can I play a game without put a parent there?
By all means, you can. You appoint somebody as the other AR.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it'd be nice if the field marshal was there. The field marshal could take over that responsibility, or the field marshal may be able to would know somebody can kind of be sort of impartial. But keep in mind, the only thing that AR is going to call is probably nothing.
In and out. In and out.
That's about it. That's seriously, you're right. Absolutely right. Whether the ball's in or whether the ball's out. And even that's a tough call for some parents. You know, they really don't know.
Right. And as far as the pay, we get the third AR after the coaches?
Correct. That's
usually you'll find an older brother or sister that's played, and those are the people you want to get instead of a dad or a mom. Usually an older kid that's played and he's there watching his brother or his cousin could fill in.
Again, I can't impress upon the assigners, and then as you guys as referees, silent September, go fish. I can't impress upon you guys and the assigners how badly we need referees. Okay, because if you start getting the younger guys involved, they will hang around the field. You know, it's just like my grandson plays hockey too, as well as soccer, and he's a rink rat. He's around the rink all the time, you know, and getting every chance he can to skate and do whatever. Well, we got the same kind of field rats that live close by. That what are they going to do on a Saturday? They'll sit up at the fields all day, and God bless them. They'll probably get a game or two that they'll step in for if nobody's there. So that stuff does happen, but it doesn't happen enough.
Right. I think that there's a shortage of referees these days because of parents and coaches blaming the referees, get yelled at, and is it part of the reason?
Well,
that's part of it. There are other things that go along with it too.
The startup fee.
Yeah.
Cost of the uniform and everything else.
Kids are just different nowadays. You go to certain clubs and you know, I went to Monroe Club, TVU South, and I asked a whole bunch of kids on teams if they were reps, and if they wanted to become reps, and nobody raised their hands because that area, a lot of kids get handed a lot of things from their parents. So you have a whole mess of reasons, okay? It's not just one particular thing, it's a lot of reasons.
Things
right.
Unfortunately, we're not up north. Okay. Now, St. Petersburg's in a grid system over there. It's not like Tampa and any other area known to man here in Florida. So it's kind of like up north. I mean, you had little boroughs and burgs and whatnot. So you'd have kids all over the place. You know, they could get on a bike and get to 3 fields. Okay, within 10 minutes on their bicycle. All right. Down here, you can't. You got to take a bus or have somebody drive you. There's just no way. You know, unless the kids live right there. It's very difficult to have that same type of culture that we have. So, hopefully this was helpful for everybody. Like I said, what I will make sure is that our regional guys get the emails out early enough so they can get here. I had 2 or 3 guys tell me that emails came late from the regional guys, so we need to make sure that we get it there. I can get up to 300 on here, so it's no big deal. Okay, where we can have 1 meeting. I don't have to have 5 of them. I got my wife yelling at me already. I can hear her in the family room yelling, "When are you going to be done?" So, what I would
hey, tell her leave me some food for me.